Hello, my dear class 9 students, welcome back. So today we'll continue with the part 2 for chapter 6 tissue, okay? And you can also refer page 68 to 79. And in the last class we have discussed about, I have shown you the classification. I have shown you the a flow chart for this plant tissue classification, okay? So in this chapter, we have two parts, that is plant tissue and animal tissue. So today we will discuss about the permanent tissue, okay? We'll discuss about the permanent tissue. Now, before we start, let me tell you that this chapter it's a bit long, but the most important thing is you have to know the names, their location, and the function, okay? Like in the last class, we have completed about the meristematic tissue, right? So this is about the growth, right? About growth and about this is ability to divide, right? Capable of division. And we have discussed about these three meristem: apical, lateral, and intercalary, right? So apical was located in, apical meristem is located in, we'll find apical meristem in the growing tips of the stem and the roots, right? Lateral on the sides, and then intercalary, internodes on twigs, right? So we have to know all this. And apical, primary growth, increase in height. So the main important thing is the name and functions, okay? So now today we are going to discuss about the permanent tissue. So see, now once this meristematic tissue they stop, okay? Once they stop, once they see, they take up this permanent tissue, they take up the activity, okay? They take up the activity, and these are formed, this permanent tissue are formed from meristematic tissue, okay? Permanent tissue developed after this meristematic tissue. So these permanent tissue are formed from the meristematic tissue. Once this meristematic tissue take up a significant role and they lose the ability to divide, then who comes? This permanent tissue take place. Clear? So let's give you the definition for differentiation, okay? Differentiation. So this differentiation is the process of taking up a permanent shape, size, and function is known as differentiation. Permanent shape, size, and function is known as differentiation. Okay, this is the definition. The process of taking up a permanent shape, size, and function is known as differentiation. Clear? So this permanent tissue, we have two types, right? We have two types. So that is simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue. So my dear students, the only difference here, okay, the only difference is simple permanent tissue means composed of only one cell. Now complex, from the word itself it says complex, so that means multiple cells. Clear? Only one cells, and this one multiple cells. So based on the nature of the cells, this simple permanent tissue is further divided into three types, okay? So we will study about this simple permanent tissue now. Clear? So we are going to discuss about this. So one point you can note down before we study about their classification, you have to write down that this simple permanent tissue, okay, they are structurally and functionally they are similar, and they are composed of only one cell, okay? Structurally and functionally similar. The second point you can write for simple permanent tissue is composed of one cell. Clear? So now you just focus on this simple permanent tissue, okay? We'll just focus on this simple permanent tissue. So it is structurally and functionally similar, and it is composed of one cell. And like I have said, based on the nature of the cells, okay? Based on the nature of the cell, simple permanent tissue is further classified into three types, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. So these three are very important, okay? Now in exam, often they ask like, what are the three types of simple permanent tissue? In that case, you just have to name them: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. And also, like for long answer questions, you have to describe about like each tissue, okay? So first we'll start with the parenchyma. Okay, so my dear students, parenchyma, okay? Now see, from the word itself, you have to like get familiar, okay? So this here, paren, okay? This here, P-A-R, okay? So the first part means para, okay? Para. So it is, the meaning is besides, okay? Besides. Beside. See, the first part is taken from this word, para, which means beside. And the second part, that is enchyma, okay? The second part, that is enchyma, it is taken from tissue, okay? Means tissue. So the first part means besides, and the second part, that enchyma, means tissue, okay? So it means besides tissue, okay? So you have to note this down as well, okay? Now let's first discuss about the occurrence. So where we will find this parenchyma? We'll find in the stem, okay? We'll find in the roots. We'll find this in leaves, flower, fruits. Clear? Like I said, it is very important to know the occurrence, and it is very important to know the functions. Clear? Now let's discuss about the functions. Now this parenchyma, okay, the one most important thing is it forms the basic packing, okay, packing materials for tissue. Clear? Now students, see, like I said, see, we have three types under simple permanent tissue, right? Simple permanent tissue. So parenchyma, and then we have collenchyma, and then we have sclerenchyma. So now, one thing I want you to remember, okay, is for parenchyma, you remember that that is storage of food, okay? Storage of food. And then collenchyma, that we are going to study in the next topic, that will be about flexibility. Clear? And then the last one would be about hardness or rigid. So I'm sure you'll remember this one, okay? So I told you that parenchyma is about food, right? So now the second important function that we'll write for the parenchyma is storage of food. See, storage of food takes place in this parenchyma, okay, my dear students? Storage of food and assimilation of food. Assimilation of food take place here. Now the last one is it gives a mechanical strength to the plant. Of course, like see, it is storing the food, so it will give strength to the plant, right? So it gives mechanical strength to the plants. So students, this is all, okay? This is all. Now under parenchyma, you have to know the occurrence and the functions. So I have given in a very simple word. So first, what you have to do is you have to write the occurrence that I have given here, okay? And I have given a simple three functions, that is, it forms the basic packing material, okay, for packing the cells and all. Now the second one, it acts as a storage of food and assimilation of food. Okay, storage of food and assimilation of food take place in this parenchyma. Okay, and the last function would be it gives mechanical strength to the plants. Plants, they need strength, right? So now it gives mechanical strength to the plants. So this is all about parenchyma. Clear? Now, in addition, there is one word that is Collenchyma. Okay, under the parenchyma, there is one word that is Collenchyma. Collenchyma. Now, what is this Collenchyma? Now, if chloroplast, okay, now if chloroplast is present, if chloroplast is present in the plant, okay, then it is known as parenchyma. Clear? And the other word under this is parenchyma. Parenchyma. Now, parenchyma, this is to do with the aerial. This is for the plants, okay? This is for the plants that are under the water, okay? Under the water, they have a large cavity. Under the water, they have large cavity. Now you imagine, okay, any plants inside the water, they have large cavity. And now that helps them to float in water. Okay, floating in water. It gives buoyancy to the plant. Clear? Gives buoyancy to the plants. So under parenchyma, just have to remember, get familiar with this word, that is parenchyma and Collenchyma. Collenchyma is to do with chloroplast being present, and then parenchyma is for the plants under the water. They have large cavity, okay, and that helps them to float in the water. Okay, now I have already given you the occurrence, where this parenchyma is located, right? Now one thing about, see, tissue is all about a group of cells, right? Now, how are these parenchyma? How do they look like? Okay, now the intercellular space have large space. The intercellular okay, the intercellular cells have large space. Now that means they are not closely packed. Okay, they are not closely packed. The cells are not closely packed and they have large spaces. Okay, they have large spaces. So see, somewhat it will look like this. So the intercellulars, they have large space, right? They have large space and they are not closely packed. Okay, so that is all about parenchyma. So like I have said, you have to remember the occurrence, the function, and also in addition, I have given you two words, okay, Collenchyma and parenchyma. You remember that, and you have to also know how the cells are placed. Okay, how the cells are placed, they are closely packed. Okay, so I'm sure you are clear with parenchyma. We'll study the next type of simple permanent tissue, that would be Collenchyma. Okay, so my dear students, this is the second type of simple permanent tissue, that is Collenchyma. And from where is this word taken from? Okay, so this word Collenchyma means the first part. The first part means this cola, okay, cola. Okay, this colon means cola. So this means glue. Okay, glue, sticky thing. Okay, sticky glue. Now, enchyma, I have already explained in the last class. Enchyma means tissue. So the meaning of this collenchyma would be glue tissue, right? Cola means glue, enchyma means tissue. Okay. Now, let's discuss about how the cells look like here. Okay, how the cells look like here. The cells, the intercellular cells here have little space, have little spaces between them. For collenchyma, unlike the parenchyma, they don't have a large spaces, they have a little spaces. Clear? So it will be somehow like this. So in between you might find a little space. Clear? Now, where we will find this collenchyma? We'll find this collenchyma in the green dicot stem, okay, or this would be dicotyledon. So we'll find this collenchyma in a green dicot stem, as well as we'll find in the leaf stalk, okay, leaf stalk. So that will be in the petiole. So that means this is absent in the monocot, root, stem, and leaf. Absent, okay. So collenchyma is absent in where? In monocot, root, stem, and leaf. Where it is present? It is present in the green dicot stem and petiole. Okay, petiole means the leaf stalk. Okay, this is leaf, this is stem. So the part which attach the leaf to the stem is known as petiole. So you'll find this collenchyma in this green dicot stem as well as the leaf stalk. Clear? Okay, so students, now we'll discuss about the function. Okay, function. Now the main function of this collenchyma is, see, I've given here flexibility, right? So flexibility, clear? We can bend this plant without breaking. Okay, so bending the plant without breaking. So this all happens, you know, like there is a flexibility in plants, right? Why it happens? That is because of the collenchyma. And you have to remember this one. I've given collenchyma is to do with flexibility, right? So students, this is all about collenchyma, okay? You have to remember how the cells are placed. Now there is a little space between them, and this is where they are located, and this is the main function. The main function is flexibility. Clear? So that is all about collenchyma. So we are done with the storage of food and flexibility. We have the last simple tissue, permanent tissue, that is sclerenchyma. Okay, sclerenchyma. So that we will do in the next class. So I'm sure you have written all this name. Okay, get familiar with this name. So we'll continue with the sclerenchyma in the next class. Thank you so much, students.